improv games, the likes of which you might see on shows like Whose Line Is It Anyway, or the very popular Comedy Sports, which we do right here at this theater. Plug. Cool. So this first game is called Conducted Story. So I'm going to ask for all my actors just to take a big step forward. And I'm going to need a title of a story that has never been told before and never will be told again after tonight. It's not the sequel to anything, but it is a brand new story. What is the title of that story?
Bloodworth Train.
Turkey knows the next thing.
Turtle Dreams.
I heard the Bloodworth Train, which is intriguing, absolutely intriguing. But I never want to say that again. So, sir, I'm going to ask you to repeat that title whenever I point at you. So if I say, this is a story of...
The Bloodworth Train.
Awesome. You're doing a great job. Cool. So the way that this game works is I'm going to be pointing at these players one at a time. They will be telling the story of
The Bloodworth Train.
one at a time. And I will be conducting it as if they were a symphony of a story. If I take my finger and I point at somebody else, that person has to pick up exactly where the previous person left off. If they fail to do so, they're going to be eliminated. It's okay. They're not going to suffer any kind of consequences other than they're just going to have to sit down for a few minutes. I promise you'll see them again. But the way that we eliminate them around here is we do something very special. Is if he or she is called out, I will say, here she is, clap, clap, out of there. It's just that easy, but I need your help to do that. So he or she is out of there. You guys are naturals. You guys are naturals. So this is the story of
Bloodworth Train.
Chapter 1. Players, are you ready?
Oh yeah!
So, there's a story that begins a long time ago. It's about a train that was moving along the western coast of the United States.
And heading over the Pacific Ocean. It was called the Bloodworth.
On this train was a midget, a couple twins that were tied together. The twins had a thirsty lust for blood. And they were taking the lust on the road.
And they'd had this lust because they were brought up by a very cruel father. And he used to beat them and bite them and suck the blood out of them.
It was a good time for them. They learned a lot, mainly in the early years.
And they brought it back to the train, and so they could do whatever they wanted to the poor midget, the unsuspecting little guy.
Oh, this little guy. He was a great guy. They were over there in the Pacific Ocean, and he's saying, "Hey, we're on a train. We're in the Pacific Ocean. What are we gonna do now?"
Hey, I got an idea. Let's go into this guy's pockets, or my pockets. And as they were going through my pockets, they find all kind of contents. They find, a condom. They find bubblegum.
They found a matchbook with a number
That said 555, go to hell.
And they called it was...
It was Bill Clinton. And Bill Clinton asked, it was Bill Clinton's personal sex line.
Oh boy! They asked if they had any cigars.
But unfortunately, cigars are illegal.
Because, when you're a bloodlust, you can't have cigars.
Because that just doesn't make any sense. The tobacco mingles with the bloodlust, and
It tastes so good.
once it hits your lips, the cigar mixed with the blood goes
Straight to the midget's face, which makes them faint.
because they don't have enough blood.
And when you don't have enough blood,
Then you just don't have enough in your system. It's like,
Very complicated because
You feel awful about yourself.
Lady is cracking herself up and me up. I'm sorry, she is out of there. Thank you, Megan. And we're on to
Bloodworth Train.
Chapter 2.
so as they were moving their way across the Pacific, they decided to stop at Hawaii.
and Hawaii is a great place to visit if you're a bloodworthy person.
you can do a lot of things in Hawaii, like kill and
And Maine. But, the blood is not worth as much in Hawaii as it is in Okinawa.
feeding the blood to dogs. Dogs love blood. Especially midget blood.
It's the best.
Of course, it's always.
Every time.
Absolutely, it's almost like a
Almost like a fun thing to do.
He said almost like, you also said almost like, I'm sorry, he is out of there. Thanks, sir. And then we are on to chapter 3.
And so this blood, it actually rushes to your head. It's like an alcohol, and it just
Streams through your ears.
Tastes like tequila.
And this was bad for the midgets because
The midgets know that if you have enough
Blood in your system, it
Sorry, he is out of there. Cool, and
Bloodworth train.
chapter 4.
I'm confused as shit because I'm writing chapter 3 and I know it's chapter 4. But that's because of the Bloodworth that's running through my veins, my face.
And my arteries and
throughout the leg. Now it worked on these midgets because they get
Very relaxed. The fatter people, the fatter blood.
they just kept going.
going.
Because the twins sitting next to me were so
so full of this blood, and they just wanted to get up and dance.
And dance the night away, but someone needed to pop them because they're so full of blood.
And that person is Dr. Schmengel.
Dr. Schmengel arrived on the train.
A little bit late because he slipped on the blood that was spilling all over him. The blood was just pouring out of their bodies.
And no one was driving the train, and it just
Smelled really bad in there. And Dr. Schmengel turned to his sidekick.
And he was really excited because he heard
That Dr. Schmegel had an idea.
that was to
use the midgets.
To pop.
pop the twins.
Oh, she said pop.
Oh.
You said pop. I'm sorry, he is out of there. And we're moving quickly right along. Thank you so much. And this is
The Bloodworth train.
chapter 5.
If you understand bloodworthy people and their lust for blood, then you understand
that they just keep moving and moving. And
And they love people.
But they love blood even more.
And they love cleaning up blood.
Dr. Schmengel's
as they were moving across
The Pacific.
Ocean?
She is out of there. Cool. And we are down to
The Bloodworth train.
chapter 6.
lo and behold, Dr.
Schmegel.
Oh, his name was Schmengel, not Schmengel. Read his out of there. And we're moving right along. We all know the story. We all know the chapter. Go.
They started going off the rails because they needed to find more blood.
And as they moved off the rails, they found more people and decided to eat these people for their blood.
But the midgets knew that
They couldn't do,
It would run them over,
and then they would have to
find somewhere else to go.
eat blood and
soak it up with the midget tampons.
I'm sorry, that's disgusting. Come in. And this is the final chapter.
As the midgets moved
north to
south,
Oh,